Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for basically a podcast. And today we have Spiff, now known as Benevolent, once known as Sinister.
Yeah. What's up? I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. I think 1 or 2 months ago, I was on Twitter, and then it suggested, "Hey, we suggest Spiff." Like, wait, he's back? All right, I'm following right away.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people that didn't even realize I left because of just how Twitter is. It just keeps going, there's no stop to it. And I didn't even announce it or anything. I was just like, all right, guys, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I actually didn't say that though. I just left. So yeah, there were some people that were like, wait, you were gone? Oh, okay.
I swear I remember you said something. Or that's just false memory, and then you were gone.
I said I was gonna stop with Smite, and because I was just getting tired of it, and I didn't. Unfortunately, I wanted to do another documentary, but for whatever reason, Hi-Rez never really got back to me on it. So I was like, okay, it's time to move on, I guess.
Yep. A lot of us moved on. Some of us never moved on, which is interesting one way or another. So, okay, you are a Smite person. I was a Smite person.
Yeah.
Did you ever play it again, or was it you left completely, or you just left doing stuff on it, or?
I think I touched it once or twice and played a game or two, but I think I pretty much just uninstalled it and then didn't touch it again because I had been at that point anyway where I had stopped playing it and stopped the game, in general wasn't as interesting, and I'd stopped watching the competitive play, which I really liked for a long time. So yeah, once I got to that point, I just it in a lot of ways I was distancing from it, so I just figured I might as well just get off Twitter and dip for a bit. I had no plans coming back. I mean, I deleted my old Twitter,
Yeah,
which I regret sometimes, but.
Do you remember what year that was? Because I'm pretty I think you left after I did. I don't think it was before.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard you talking about it, and you were saying like you left in 2016 or something.
Yeah, I'm
2017.
Mostly sure 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
The litmus depends on what year I went to TwitchCon.
Yeah.
I think it was 2017 is when I left. Early, January or March of 2017, I think is when I left.
Yeah. No, I stayed around until 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow, later in the year, I think. It was just, I don't know. It's one of those things I played that game so I was I was a junior in high school when I started playing or something like that. Yeah, it was, I mean, it's like a decade of playing the game. At some point you're probably going to get a little tired of it, but I downloaded it recently. So I'm back.
I've been thinking about it too.
Yeah, the Avatar stuff got me.
What happened?
The Avatar stuff, the Avatar skins. I'm back for that kind of.
I really considered because of that. Scotty for Korra, perfect.
Right.
Aang for Merlin, I haven't played him, so I guess. But yeah. Zuko, I'm like, why is he not Agni? I'll take him as Agni. What's going on?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not an expert on the show or the gods. I just was like, man, this is good stuff. I just I don't know. It's ambitious. I like that.
Yeah, crossovers work out pretty well, and people are liking Avatar again, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's right. It's back on Netflix. It's just a huge get in general for Smite. It's surprising. They're able to do it.
The right crossovers can do some work.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
They didn't even. I don't know if you saw this, but they didn't even know what a battle pass was or anything. The business dev person for Hi-Rez and for Smite had to go over there and talk to them for months just to explain what a battle pass was, let alone what Smite is. So it's funny how they had to translate everything just to make it work so that they could understand why it was a big deal.
To Smite that battle pass was a big deal, or to
no. So the Hi-Rez or Smite business person, that does all the cross pollination stuff with Avatar.
Okay.
They had to go to the Avatar / Nickelodeon people and explain what a battle pass was. like high up executives. I don't know. I don't know if it was at Viacom or I don't
Wow.
know where it was, but he was explaining that they had to lay out what a battle pass was and why this would be a big deal to do. So it almost makes it better because they could. I don't know if you're not familiar with games,
Yeah.
you could kind of convince someone like, hey, if they're not familiar with games, you could be like, hey, our game is really big,
Yeah.
like because Smite is not Dota or League, but yet they
Mhm.
landed this huge crossover before anyone else did.
For sure. Like, I can't even imagine trying to explain a battle pass to some. Like, try explaining a battle pass to like your dad or mom if they've never played a game. Like,
It's like you know what Loot
what?
Crate is? I don't
Oh, I don't think
know.
even. I I think it would be like rewards, like for like a whole like for restaurants or reward program for
Yeah,
something like this. The best you could do
yeah,
to
yeah,
try to do an analogy on it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
That had
get
to be
it.
stressful for the guy or lady who had to do that. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was Hi-Rez Trevor. I forget
Okay.
his actual name.
Like I
I
have
mean Trevor something.
I don't even know who's staff anymore. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're like back in the day knew everybody. Now I have
Right.
no idea who's what.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
what happens.
yeah. But anyway, that's it for Smite.
Huh.
I'm back.
Hey
That's it.
back. Yeah, I thought about playing again. Like
Yeah, get on.
it'd be starting all over from the start. Well, besides Thanatos. Like the best way I can put it is just Thanatos, unless they somehow change his kit, is the best beginner friendly god there is because you could do
Yeah.
whatever kit you want because he's percentage based. Now, if they've
Yep.
changed him, he's no longer percentage based, and I can't say that. But it's been 4 years, so I don't know.
No, he's the same.
All right, so then I have all the confidence in the world I could still wreck with him, at least him, because I know the remade
Right.
Arachne, which breaks my heart. Unless it's
Yep.
better, I don't know.
No, I missed the poll.
Hmm.
I
Cole's
don't
great,
know.
especially we can do through walls and everything.
Yeah, you just it was so cheesy though because you would spend half the match setting up your little egg corner and just behind a wall, and it would just be your area, and then you would just yoink people in with your pole.
Yeah,
That'd be it. You just set up your eggs and then wait. And it was just like a complete ambush maneuver that had no business later in the game. You
yeah,
couldn't do anything with it
true.
later in the game.
Just a funny thing to do. Or I think the funnest things was when you could predict someone and get them through a wall. So
Oh
like,
yeah,
Janice ult, Ra
yeah,
ult,
yeah,
old Arachne. Just those were like, oh, I got him. And it always felt
yeah,
nice.
yeah. And then Arachne used to sit on people's faces. Do you remember that? You
Mm-hmm.
just like, yeah, that was
Just
fun
like,
too.
just
Yeah,
climbed
yeah,
up on. He's like, oh, you ain't doing nothing for a second. That was fun.
yeah. The new one's not bad. I don't like it as much.
Yeah. Like she was always my favorite from her and Baka from the beginning were my favorites.
I
And
feel like
just
we have to move on from Smite. Like we're gonna get stuck here forever.
we will well anyone who watches will be about it, but just um yeah, just thinking about it because we spent so much of our life playing that game.
True.
It was fun times. Okay. We'll move on. We'll probably fall back at some point. But so what did you do after Smite? Like you just had fun instead of uh just because Smite I think put a weight on anyone who was a content creator. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, I wasn't really in that. I was never in that position because when I think of content creators, I think of people that have to keep churning stuff out and have
Hmm.
to like they're on this hamster wheel and they can't get off.
Yeah.
And I had never had that position. It was just whenever I felt like it, I would make something, and that's why I wasn't successful. But like that's why I had some impact, but it was always on a whenever lightning would strike kind of thing
Yeah.
instead of me constantly pumping stuff out and having a massive following or whatever. Yeah, I mean, I was never in that position. So, for me to stop, it was a lot less dramatic than
Hmm.
someone who makes 2 videos a day or whatever. I don't know what you guys do.
Yeah.
I don't know what's optimal.
I was doing 2 or 3 a day. Oh my god.
Yeah, right. That's what
Uh,
I mean, though. It's like when I stepped away, it was whatever. I'm just not gonna, there's periods where I've not made videos before. This is kind of similar to that.
I know for sure when it came to like the more I'm not gonna say hardcore, but like content creators as well. Just we noticed. We definitely like whenever you put stuff out, everyone wanted to see it. When
Yeah,
you weren't there, we noticed for sure.
that's how I wanted it to be. Is just whenever I really feel strongly about something or have like a good enough idea, then I'll put something out. Otherwise, I don't really care. It's just a different thing. Like you can make good stuff and make a lot of things, but from my perspective, I just wanted to make this type of thing that would be something that people would talk about instead of just another, what I tried to do in the beginning, which was like another gameplay video. It
Hmm.
just didn't work. It didn't. I realized later it like didn't gel with what I wanted to do.
It's important to know what works for you, so that's good. Like,
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, what I did after, well, I tried pitching high res on another documentary. I was gonna do one. We had an idea for like following 3 different players and 1 player throughout each third of the year.
oh,
So yeah, we were gonna follow like the defending champ and then the person who finished second, and then follow a rookie at the end, and then hopefully they would all meet up at Worlds, and we are
hmm.
gonna like have them overlap. It actually, in retrospect, the people that we were gonna follow, the storylines would have been perfect.
Ah,
But unfortunately, yeah, I just never heard back from Hi-Rez. I don't know what the deal was. They were kind of in like a restructuring
hmm.
period. I don't know if you know what happened, but they split the companies up. So there's Titan Forge, Evil Mojo, which is Paladins, Titan Forge is Smite. They're all. I don't get how it works. They're still all under Hi-Rez, I think, but they have 4 separate companies. They have Skillshot too, and there's Prophecy. I forget what that developer is called. I don't know. It's confusing.
Huh.
So yeah, they were in a restructuring period with management and how they operated, and I think I just got unlucky with the timing because they didn't really have money to throw around at that point.
Hmm.
Is what I guess happened. But yeah, no. So I tried pitching them on that. That didn't work out. So I was in a bit of a lull. I was doing some freelance video stuff at the time. Uh, I wanted to make a different documentary, so I actually went to I went to Brazil for a bit to
Hmm.
try to make a documentary
Interesting.
on something. Yeah, that didn't actually work out, which
Hmm.
was a bummer for me. But yeah, I kept doing freelance video the entire time. Did different odd job type things. And I was taking care of a family member who ended up passing away.
Hmm.
So
That's unfortunate.
yeah, crowd, aw, no.
Yeah. Oh.
No, it's fine though. I
Hmm.
mean, it's an older person that I was kind of taking care of. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, that took a lot of my time and effort. The last 2 years or so. So, yeah, when I left Smite, that was kind of what I was doing, just juggling a couple different things at the same time, trying some things. Some stuff didn't work, but just keep moving. Yeah.
So what
So
made you
yeah.
come back to? Well, I guess Twitter.
What's up?
What made you come back to Twitter?
Oh, well, I left randomly, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Just deleted my account because I was tired of it and just didn't feel like having a Twitter account anymore. And then I had no inclination to go back until the last 3 or 4 months. Whenever I actually came back, I kind of had the thought like, I should go back on Twitter. I miss talking to some people. Like I had some people on different, social media, Discord and whatnot. And someone would always message me whenever they tweeted about me, and they would just be like, "I miss you, Spiff" or something, and then they would send me the link to the tweet, and I was like, "All right, whatever." I appreciated that stuff, but it was just funny. And then eventually, I was like, "You know what? I miss you guys too, so I'll come back." And it just seemed like a good time to come back. And you know what? Things are looking up. What can I say?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I just watched the last week in Smite. I watched the one you put out, like, the one you brought back, and I remember
Yeah,
just it made me remember the ones I watched so many years ago, of course.
of course.
And the funny thing is, watching it. Have you watched Last Week Tonight like recently?
Yeah, it's the exact same, right?
Yeah, it feels just
No
like it.
crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my version is infinitely worse, but no, I know what you mean. I was watching it the other day. I don't watch it religiously or anything. I
Yeah.
watched it, yeah, a clip here and there, and I thought, man, I was ahead of the curve with it. It's like this is the exact same production and everything. Like he didn't have a picture and expensive looking set or anything, but that was basically what he was doing. I used to have those little signs I'd put up, and I'd always have one that said like picture and expensive looking set. And he
Yeah.
could have used one, honestly. John Oliver was looking a little low budget.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's funny you mentioned that. It was dumb too. That one was my most popular one, the one I brought back.
Yeah.
They got so much better. The next like 4 I did were so much higher quality. I'm actually I get pissed now. Like I almost didn't bring that one back because it just I was watching it and I was thinking, man, this is not very good. But then I was like, it doesn't matter. It's more like a public record thing, just to show that like people actually said something about it.
Yeah.
This is all very vague, but if you know what we're talking about.
I'll make sure to put the link in the description for sure.
Oh no, don't bring that up. No.
Less context.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay, well, no. To be clear though, just to say, it was about Dan Brennan. I know you talked about him recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to bring it back because heard so many people say like I had no idea this was going on. It's like, what are you talking?
Yeah, are you kidding me?
Some of the stuff that was going on was so obvious. He would live stream it,
Mhm.
and I don't know. That just makes me laugh. There were a lot of blind spots though, and unfortunately, a lot of people got hurt, which is not funny. But
Yeah.
just the aspect of it where people were saying like, oh, I mean, he was such a sweet guy. I mean, I know it. It's like, what are you talking?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I was yeah, I remember trolling him at like 17 or 18 in that video.
Wow.
So that was fun. It was a lot. It was a lot. I don't know why I thought I could do that. Like, I wish I'd made it better, but it's just funny that I decided that was something I did. The crusade I just decided to take up. But yeah, I don't know where I was going. Oh yeah, just the fact that I did so much better work after that. It's kind of annoying. The production value just got infinitely better for me.
Well, that is how it always is, though. Like, the next one's always gonna be better than the last one. At least it better be, or else you're in trouble.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of the stuff I made ended up being so dated because it was like news based or just the general quality. I ended up upping it so much by the end. That's why I unlisted like every single video I had except one up until recently, where I unlisted the other one. But that's how I felt. It just bummed out that the stuff that I was making when I looked back on it 2 years later, kind of there wasn't much that I was willing to bet would stand the test of time. So I left the Obey documentary up, and that was pretty much it. Because that one, to this day, I still think is pretty good.
That's an interesting one to think about, because, well, I think a lot of, just in media in general, there's a lot that's not going to stand the test of time.
Right.
Maybe
For
because
sure.
of the concepts or ideas, or just it dates itself so aggressively, like if it's very referential to the time.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm gonna go to a different place. How familiar are you with The Simpsons?
Yeah. Super familiar.
So, like, the first seasons feel like they can stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Well, the
they're
newer
still really
stuff,
good, but it's just awkward.
Yeah, like, newer stuff feels like it's so referential that it wouldn't stand the test of time necessarily. It might be, in a way, though, it's kind of the rings of, like, a tree that tell you things. Like, you could watch The Simpsons and just have some sense of pop culture.
Yeah.
But it just feels like those episodes, there's a point when you just had to be in that age to understand it.
Yeah.
Well, I think some of the older seasons, it's just funny because of what it is.
Yeah, for sure. They started becoming just like a laugh factory kind of. It's not so much about the story. Like, my favorite episode is probably Lisa's Substitute.
Oh, it's such a good one.
It just makes me cry. It's so beautiful. I don't know why. You can't really imagine a cartoon show having that gut punch, like, emotional depth. It's not just like it's sad. It's really heartfelt and beautiful. Like the words at the end that Dustin Hoffman writes on the paper. Like, everything you need to know is on this piece of paper, and it just you are Lisa Simpson. Like that's such a good like that's one of the
So
most
good.
brilliant things. Yeah, I honestly, it's one of the better things I've ever seen. So, um,
And that's definitely a message that can go to any generation for sure.
yeah, something like that. You don't need to know anything about anything. It fits no matter what time period. Sorry, I think I misunderstood when you were first talking about The Simpsons. Because I think you were making the point that the older episodes stood up much better than the new ones, which were much more dated more quickly.
Yeah.
Was that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Essentially.
But that's what I was saying. But that example is
Yeah.
a really good one. And interesting fact
Yeah.
for you, because I've listened to interviews with the Simpsons staff. I forget which guy wrote it, but they're like, okay, so how do we end this thing? And he's like, oh, I got an idea. And he wrote the note and he passed it, and just each writer read the note, and all of them were like, oh, come on, this isn't going to work. He's like, no, believe me, it's going to be good. And then they believed
Oh,
him,
it
and
was.
it's
It
amazing.
was. Yeah. No, sorry. I think at one point I was saying earlier, because you mentioned the earlier seasons. Like I don't know if you feel this way too, but the first season there's only there's a couple episodes that are really good from the first season. Like they're mostly good, but it's just too awkward. They haven't figured everything out yet, and it
True.
feels like it's really awkward in terms of the production quality. It's until you get to the second season, when the second season has a lot of really good episodes, and then by season 5, it's basically you could watch it now and not really think that much of the difference in quality.
Oh, yeah. Season one in anything should be the rough point where they're figuring it out. What's
Yeah,
impressive about that was with every script, they wrote it and then they rewrote it like 40 times.
yeah.
They just really worked on it, but not just that. They also, it's becoming a Simpsons thing. They also, the other thing was they were all joke writers, and their goal was to make each other laugh.
Right. Yeah.
And when that's the goal, I think there's a purity to it, and just makes it so much better.
Yeah. Yeah. I can look up. I'm trying to look up episodes that I really like now. I think the first season has that really good episode where there's a focus testing thing. Or no, it's electroshock device, and Bart keeps abusing it. He just keeps shocking everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know if you.
And then I think Maggie just thinks it's a game, and she's shocking everyone.
Yeah, it's Maggie. Yeah. I'm going. Should we do this? I'm looking up episodes. We can use this. I don't know.
Well, we're doing it. We're doing it. I
We're
let the
doing
road
it.
go where it goes.
Okay. I'm gonna go to season 2. That's where I think the better
I'm looking it
episodes
up too.
are.
Let's see.
Who cares? Who cares? Screw you, viewer. Bart gets an F. That one's really sad.
Oh, right. This one where he's the one where at the end he studies and studies and studies, and in the
Yeah.
end, and then he goes on his crying rant, and he's getting things right.
Yeah. I saw one recently that was pretty good. I don't know what season it was. One of the newer seasons, and might have been 28 or 7 or 4. I don't know. And it had a good message. It felt like one of the older ones, so I feel like every once in a while they can still do that. They just don't.
Yeah,
As much as they should.
they take interesting turns. I watched a random one where they were just medieval Simpsons for some reason, and it had this real badass moment in it. It's a total spoiler for the story, but just Marge's mom does this really badass sacrifice play against a dragon. He's like, oh, that looked really cool. It was just Simpsons and medieval. Oh, that's kind of fun. And
Yeah.
they should be having fun, I feel. I'm trying to remember.
You want what one?
I'm trying to remember some of these first season episodes, like Bart the Genius is the first one that premiered.
Feels like the newer ones just don't have a connective tissue. There's not a heart beneath it all. Flaming Moe's is pretty good. Homer at the bat. All right, whatever. We gotta get off, dude. I've ruined this multiple times. All right, let's just talk about The Simpsons. Now, do you have any movies that are really old that you think hold up?
That's actually a good question. What is a movie that holds up?
I'll give you one. Chinatown. Chinatown holds up.
You're talking about
Goat. Greatest of all time.
the Jack Nicholson one?
Yeah.
Oh
I think it
yeah,
holds up.
so that's such a hard hitting movie. Like,
Yeah,
ooh, like
chills.
it's Chinatown. Like what? No, 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 just come
It's a
back next
meme at
week and
this
get the
point.
guy. Come on. Yeah, it's definitely a meme. And Simpsons, of course, referenced that at some point.
Yeah.
Uh, what is a movie that stands the test of time? I want to say Shawshank, but I don't know if it does. I just know it's a movie I enjoy. If
Oh,
it's
for
on TV, I'll
sure.
sit down and watch it.
It's like one of the best movies that you can find scrolling past on on
Yeah,
TV. As soon as you find it, it's like, all right, I'll watch this till the end.
for sure.
Get to halfway through.
I feel like that's one that stands the test of time for sure.
That's only the '90s though.
See, going further back.
North by Northwest.
Like,
That's honestly that I love that movie so much. It's just fun.
I don't think I've seen that one. I want to believe some old
59.
ones.
Casablanca.
I was about to say Casablanca, but that made me BSing. I've never seen it. That or the Maltese Falcon. I haven't seen that either.
Casablanca is it's actually really good. Oh, The
Okay.
Godfather 1. Okay, wait, hold on,
Okay.
hold on.
Okay.
Now that we're on this subject, I'm hijacking this. Screw your viewers. Do you like do you prefer there's often like when you have multiple films in like a series or a trilogy, there's often the debate over which one's the better one. So like for example, Godfather 1 and 2, which one do you like more? Have you seen either?
I saw them when I was quite young, but I know I saw
Okay.
them.
So
Yeah,
like Alien
yeah.
and Aliens,
Alien
is
and
that a
Aliens
better
is
one?
another debate. I'll say, I think Aliens is just the scarier one, like
Yeah.
because of how authentic that kitchen scene. Well, it's very authentic. The kitchen scene. They didn't even tell them it was
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah, I see this is where it gets down to like what do you find more compelling? Cuz I don't know, cuz the Aliens ends up being more of an action movie
Yeah,
and Alien is more of a horror, like really just low budget kind of well now I don't know what actually is the budget. Hold on. This is the worst podcast. Yeah, okay. The original Alien movie had $11 million budget. Like, are you kidding me?
I'm loving this podcast. Like,
Aliens is only 18.5 million. Wow.
like what makes because Aliens does get actiony, and my favorite
Yeah.
part for Aliens is just when she gets in the mech, like in the construction mech.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah.
that's my favorite part. It's like, oh yeah, now she's got a chance at this. Like, okay,
Right.
that's my favorite part to that one. But
I think about another one.
I think one because it's just it really makes it makes the alien scary, and you really get just like, oh man, how are they gonna deal with this kind of thing? Well, aliens, it's well, they also get wrecked, but it's just a different. I guess it's just different feeling, like how badass they get to that point.
Yeah.
I think.
I was actually oh, go ahead.
If it's still an alien, you can go.
No.
Okay, go say. I say Terminator 2 is better than Terminator 1 for sure.
Yeah. That's that one I think for sure as well. Yeah, I've watched them both recently
Huh.
enough to talk about this confidently. Like, Terminator 1 is just too you watch it now, it's like it's so close, but Terminator 2 actually figures out all the effects and everything.
Hmm.
Like Terminator 1's effects are pretty crazy, but it just everything doesn't quite click into place. Terminator 2 feels so much more fully realized.
For
I don't know.
sure, and
Plus,
then
the story is really heartfelt.
like the ending's good.
Oh, the ending.
Just thumbs up.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
the deleted scene I wish they kept just because how impressive it was. Like the when they're with the mirror and it's actually just another set of people. Like that
I
was
don't think
really
I know what you're
cool. So
I
there's a
don't know what you're
deleted
talking about.
scene when they take the chip out of his head,
Oh.
and in the scene they're debating whether to destroy the chip or not. Like the mom is can't remember her name all of a sudden.
Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah Connor's considering just destroying it, and her son's like, "No, we need him." So in the scene when they're taking it out, they're standing in front of a mirror while they're doing it, and you don't see the camera in the mirror because it's not a mirror. It's actually just another set of people on the other side. And
I'm
what's
looking at it
useful
now.
is also knowing is the actress for Sarah Connor. I can't remember her name. I hate it when I forget
Oh,
names.
yeah.
But she has a twin sister.
Really?
So when you have the scene when they're both on screen because one of them's a T1000, it's her twin sister.
Oh.
Because people are like, oh, how did they do that? Oh, they just had a twin.
Linda Hamilton,
Yeah,
by the
Linda
way.
Hamilton. I just like knowing one more thing from behind the scenes is when she beats up the orderly, that was real. She
Wow.
destroyed him because in an earlier scene when he hits her and she falls to the ground, he was just being really like just limp about hitting her because he was hitting a lady and she had to keep falling to the ground on her knees and it really hurt. So after like 100 takes of that, she was real good and angry. So when it was her turn, she unleashed. So he took a real hit.
I like that, that kind of stuff where, I mean, as long as it's not abusive
Mm-hmm.
type behavior on set, I do kind of like where people are using something that's real.
Yeah.
Although I don't like when it becomes, this happens a lot of times with actors do like method acting where it's like they get so,
Mm-hmm.
the promotion of the movie becomes so consumed with, oh wow, look at this performance, Leo was actually eating fish on the set of The Revenant. Can't believe it. Yeah, it's like who
Yeah.
cares? This doesn't help me understand the character. I don't know.
It's
It could have been CG. I
mhm.
don't care.
Like it's kind of interesting, but it's also like what the hell? Because like many examples of method, like Daniel Day Lewis, of course, is the most ridiculous one of them all, where
Right.
he becomes the character.
But he's not
And
even just he's not being gross though. That's the thing. When I think of the examples of someone being
oh,
terrible
like
with it
Jared
is
Leto.
exactly. It
Mhm.
does That's not even that's just being awful for no reason. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
Jared Leto was awful when he was doing the Joker. He's just setting dead
Yeah.
rats and everything's like, dude, you're not. That's not the Joker. He's being a dick. So I get what you mean now. Okay, yeah, like people using method as an excuse to do gross things.
Yeah, or just in general, a lot of times marketing and movies. I'm a big movie guy, but I just get annoyed when a gimmick becomes the marketing of the film, or just how they did it. When that's all they're going with, that kind of bothers me. It happens a little bit with Christopher Nolan, where they market. It's as much. It's more of his movie than just whatever movie it is. Like think
True.
about Dunkirk. It's not just Dunkirk the movie. It's like Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk.
Yeah.
There's a few directors who have that, but yeah, like something like 1917, they would not shut up about how they made that, and you know, it's like to a detriment. I feel like of the film.
Okay. Yeah, I get you. Where marketing just tries to find a thing, and sometimes it's just not
Right.
the right
Yeah.
thing. Or like a big one I feel if you're a fan of movies is you hate trailers.
Yeah.
At least a certain type of trailer. Like there's the
Right.
trailers where
Right.
they're like they give you things and it looks you're interested, you're really in there, and
Yeah.
you don't know what's going to happen. And then there's the
Yeah.
trailers that give you the whole story.
Right. You just need a taste. You just need to understand the world a little bit.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, and then you're good. Or just the mood. The mood. I like a mood trailer.
Hmm. Um, like I think Disney's had some pretty good. Well, Disney's interesting in some of theirs because they're very much in misdirection.
Mhm.
Where it's, oh, this is all in the movie. We're not. We filmed it at least, and they'll just weave things together to trick you. Whereas, I can't think of more. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, okay, random one. Dog's Purpose. I don't know if
I
you've
have
seen
no
A
idea
Dog's
what this
Purpose,
is.
but
No.
A Dog's Purpose is the story of a dog, and then the dog dies and gets reincarnated as another dog.
Oh yeah, no, I know this one. Okay.
So the trailers give you the entire story, so you know what you're gonna watch. I'm like, huh, all right, well, I just saw the movie basically, so I'm good.
But the thing is, with that movie, they know who's gonna watch that, and the person who's gonna watch that, I know those people. I'm related to those people. they're mainly women in my family, and 100% they're going to watch that, even if they watch the trailer. They just want to know that everything that they want to be in that movie is in that movie.
Hmm.
And see, that's the thing. It's like they did their job. Disney wanted them to know exactly what was in that movie, and there you go. And they watched it. I'm
Good
sure I
point.
can go text my sister right now, and she'll be like, "Yeah, I saw that. It was great. I cried."
I
So there you go.
I guess it just depends on the audience. At the end of the day,
For sure.
what was it
Know
like?
what you
Okay,
mean, though.
like Terminator, the twist about in Genesis, the John Connor twist. I'm like, oh, now I'm not interested anymore. That's what happened to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, wait, hold on. I've been watching so many clips recently. I haven't watched the full movies, but it was just I have seen I think most, well, not most of them. I've seen most of the Fast Furious. Yeah, the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah.
But the one, I mean, recently, I almost hesitated to say most because there's been so many. I don't even know at this point.
Uh-huh.
I think I tapped out after the fifth one.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one, and I just kind of gave up because they started doing superpowers and stuff like that, and I was just,
Yeah.
it's so interesting to see. I had said this on Twitter that it's one of the best examples of power creep you'll ever get because they start out just as like normal street racers in the early 2000s, and then they turn into supervillains and superheroes, and they've got serums, and they're punching and lifting up cars and throwing stuff. It's like, what? These people are not the Incredible Hulk or like Captain America. This is supposed to be,
Yeah.
but that's, they just kind of morphed into what was popular. You know what I mean? They did heist movies, they did the street race scene, and then it became, okay, let's turn them into superheroes because everyone else is doing superheroes. It's a weird
That's
shift. I don't know.
true.
Have you seen those?
Yeah,
Any of those movies?
I've watched all of them because it's not by choice. I want to say it's just like everyone else is gonna watch it, and they're like, "You want to come?" Like, well, I guess I got nothing else for the next 2 hours. I guess I'll go watch it with you guys, kind of thing.
So you're gonna sit here and tell me that you were forced to watch every Fast and Furious movie. Who is your torturer, and why are they so specific?
It's it's just family. Like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
is a Fast 8 or whatever the newest Fast one before the current one that's not even out yet.
Yeah,
Uh, we watched it like Christmas night or whatever. Like they had the DVD and was like, let's watch this. I'm like, well, what? I'm stuck here, so I guess I'm watching this. I was bored to heck.
yeah.
It's unfortunate. Like, yeah, it's so interesting how it was just so grounded in just a
For the most part, yeah,
like Donnie Brasco kind of story
yeah,
with fast racing, but it's just drag racing kind. And then it turns
yeah,
kind of into drifting. Then Tokyo Drift happened, which everyone forgets. And it just, yeah, power creep, like you said, slowly they get more ridiculous until Vin Diesel becomes a superhero. And they all
yeah.
to an extent are. And like, five's an interesting one to check out because that's exactly when I feel it changed over. Like, four was getting there, and then five, they really changed. They really became superhero stuff.
Yeah, that one was, they really went to a different level with that one, but I still think I actually like that one. It was fun. It was just the right amount of stupid where it was really stupid in certain areas, but it still felt like you had some of the original DNA, and now to me it's just gone. I was watching clips of the new ones, and I was watching clips of the original ones. The original ones have such, like, especially 1 and 2, and 2 is directed by what's his name? John Singleton? Yeah.
Okay.
I want
Uh,
to say John Singletary. John Singleton, yeah,
oh,
great director. He actually recently passed away.
that's unfortunate.
That Yeah, the second one, Too Fast, Too Furious, has such a good energy, and uh, everyone's so charismatic. You know, it's not like people think like trying to be stars. It's Paul Walker being kind of goofy and always smiling, and it's nothing silly about it. It's just some people having fun and racing cars. It's so serious now. It's the plot lines are like, oh no, we brought this person back, and this person hates this person. And the first two is just, there were some elements that were serious, but it didn't. I don't think it took itself seriously. There was a nice positive energy to it. I don't know. You don't get that now. It's like corporate steel. I think even the color grading has gone to a very bland direction.
Yeah, it has. I agree on that one. Like 8 was very much very kind of grayish.
Yeah.
Or was it a fleshed out? I don't think it's fleshed out's the right word, but just a drowned out brown as well.
Yeah.
Like it's like Zack Snyder, how everything's a weird blue with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people just have a color they really like to use. Like, oh, Zack Snyder, real quick, he has a specific color for a movie. He's very blue in like Batman vs Superman. He's very brown in 300. He's very green in Sucker Punch. Like he just has these tints that happen to a movie for that whole movie.
Yeah, he can't help himself. That's his problem. if he could honestly, if he had a little more self control, I think he'd be doing all right.
I 100% agree. I feel like he's got some amazing shots, but but with the storytelling, just if it was tightened up, could have been really good. Like I think man. there was a better movie in Batman vs Superman in there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a better movie in Superman. Like there's better movies in there. He doesn't have enough reins, I guess. I don't like he's not reined in enough or something.
Yeah. I wish there was someone on his shoulder just telling him like, "Hey, don't do that." Or hold back, or just I like where you're going, but I'm just gonna steer you a little to the right, and you're good.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has that. This is such a weird. I feel bad for just completely hijacking this into now we're talking about whatever movies.
This is good.
Really Fast and Furious is funny. Mm-hmm. Really funny movies.
Like basically, a podcast is it's a conversation.
I got a question for you. Here you go.
Okay.
I'm not really a materialistic person per se, but I've got a few like gadgets or whatever that I really like. Is there anything that you have that you can't like? I don't say can't live without, but you use it so often it just other than your phone. The phone doesn't really count.
Yeah, the phone. It's become such a utility.
Yeah.
Anything? Okay, that are not utilities. So not phone, not computer, not car. Just
no. Something accessory or I don't know, or it could be like a rice cooker. It could be like I don't know, whatever. Speakers. I don't know, whatever you want. Shoes.
Okay, you give me an example real quick. Something for that you.
Okay, this is the worst question ever. Forget that. All right, new plan.
Okay.
Ditching that. Okay. I can go on a rant about several different movies, and I'm just gonna talk about it.
There's nothing wrong with talking about movies. Like you like movies. I like movies too. I probably haven't seen as many you have. I'm still thinking of what's timeless. Like how far back can I go? And I've seen some old stuff, but I can't think of anything.
Yeah. Shawshank. You said Shawshank. Shawshank is a good one. It's just I think that's only the 90s. Yeah, so I was thinking even farther back.
Like, what's the oldest movie I've seen? Like, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is an old classic I like a lot. I don't know if it stands the test of time, but I know I really like that movie.
For sure, yeah.
Because I'm just trying to think of, well, what exactly in there could be considered it's a long movie. And there's also mixing it up with some of the other Clint Eastwood movies like Josie Wales or like Fistful of Dollars definitely probably doesn't stand up as well, as good as it is.
Are you big into Westerns?
I've seen a bunch. I think the best modern that's still Clint Eastwood has got to be Unforgiven.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Unforgiven or no?
I haven't, no.
Unforgiven, it's him, it's Kelsey Grammer's and not Kelsey Grammer. French Connection, what's his name? He was Lex Luthor in the old Superman movies.
Brando.
Oh, Gene Hackman.
Just kidding.
Brando's he's Kal-El. He's Jor-El.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh my, yeah, wow, that brain. That brain.
You were in the area at least.
I heard Superman and I was just like, sure, Brando.
Brando didn't believe in any of that. He got paid so much money to just stand there and say lines.
I love that
Uh,
stuff. It's so
like
funny.
Brando's interesting in that he used to be that hardcore actor who believed in everything, and then at some point he was like, "I hate everyone and everything. Just give me my money, and I'll say what I have to
Yeah,
say." He got
but
jaded.
well, he definitely got jaded, but I think there was always a streak of that in him.
True.
Especially it just as he got more power, he became more and more jaded. But for example, like he said at one point that he would give when he first tried out for a role, he would give two takes, or when he first got the role, he would like show up on set and he would give two takes.
Wow.
He would give him the director one. It was the one he actually that Brando himself liked and where he was really trying, and he would give him another one where he wasn't really trying so much. He was just doing what he thought the director might like. And if the director took the second one, he would not try for the rest of the film. So he would literally just punish
Wow.
them.
Interesting.
He
Wow.
was a funny guy. He's a funny, weird guy.
Interesting on that one. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, Gene Hackman. It's interesting movie because it's not a romanticism of the Old West kind of story,
Mm.
but it's like what happens after these. It's kind of just like when they get older and just I like it. I think it's a really good classic as far as westerns go. Yeah, I'd say Unforgiven's like a really good classic. While there's just some like Hang 'em High is a pretty good one. That definitely doesn't stand. That's no, maybe it does. Hang 'em High is an interesting one.
Have you
I
seen Robert Altman's Macabre and Miss Miller?
don't think I have.
Hmm.
What's that one?
It's I don't know. It's one of those classic, this guy comes into town type thing, falls in love. Who cares?
Hmm.
It's just it's more notable for its like visual style than its story, I think. But
Okay. Definitely not one I haven't seen, unfortunately. Uh, yeah, I can't think of anything too old. Like, yeah, I can't think how far. Like, now when it comes to comedy, the one that always stands the test of time for me is Who's on First.
mm,
Who's on First is like my favorite sketch of all time, I think.
yeah,
And that's like 19, maybe 30s or 40s. I don't think it's 50s. No, it might be 50s
uh,
because it's when World War II happened, not much was going on.
I'm
Um,
checking.
like it's Abbott and Costello, and then there's some old Ollie and the other guy's name. Like comedy was my thing,
Yeah,
so I really enjoyed those old groups because I feel like a lot of their jokes do stand the test of time because they're just fundamental jokes,
yeah, yeah.
which kind of just is just who I am. I'm always about fundamentals. Uh,
Do you think who do you prefer, Buster Keaton or oh
uh
my gosh,
what's his name? Was it Buster
I want
Keaton
to say
or
why is
he
oh my
made
gosh.
he made the Dictator?
Yeah, I know.
Uh,
Why did my home
heaven help me.
Charlie Chaplin?
Chaplin,
There we go.
Chaplin. I'll take Chaplin because of the Dictator.
Okay.
Buster Keaton's really good too. Like they're both really good, but I think the Dictator wins me over because of the speech in the Dictator.
Yeah.
Like you've heard the speech in the Dictator, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
okay, okay, making sure I'm not just. They
I
were
kind of
both
hate
real
his.
funny. What?
Yeah. I don't like the tramp character that he does that
Oh
much.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Some of the physical stuff is crazy, but
Like the physical stuff's pretty funny, and
yeah,
yeah, I there's just some silly stuff in the Dick. There's silly stuff in all those old movies, and the
yeah.
speech just got me. There's something about speeches
Speech.
that can get me, and that one for sure.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie speech?
Maybe
On the
that
spot.
one.
Maybe that. Yeah.
Let's see, what's another good movie speech? I'm not gonna say Independence Day, although that
Okay.
one was very entertaining for its time. It might be that one. I'm just thinking, like sports movies really do the
Mhm.
speech a lot.
Right.
Any Given Sunday had a pretty good speech. The fighting for the extra
Sure.
inch, or
Yeah. Yeah.
every yard or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't think of a good speech in recent history.
Yeah, I
Like,
think we're doing away with a sports movie, kind of.
even with like the Marvel and DC movies, they have speeches, but I can't even think of them right now. Like Captain America gets speeches.
Yeah, yeah. Now you say it, they don't really do that, do they? They're
Like,
kind of just like, all right, let's do this.
yeah, they got
Not
like,
us.
yeah, like they have like good one-liners. I don't think they have
Hmm.
speeches. Huh? Yeah, they don't really do speeches that much anymore. I like, okay,
Miss them.
but
I miss them.
yeah, because they can be really good and inspiring moments. On the other side, movies that are not standing the test of time whatsoever. I would argue number one for me, The Breakfast Club.
Really?
It's just really creepy. Like, okay, it has some great scenes. I think my favorite scene, because it's just got a real rawness to it, has got to be when the teacher's threatening Bender when they're alone.
Yeah.
That scene feels so very raw and like holy.
Yeah.
But you have the tropes of hey, if you just make the frumpy girl or not the frumpy, just the odd girl prettier, she's magically just a better person, or
Right.
just all the
Yeah.
things that Bender does is pretty creepy, and he gets the girl in the end despite being such a creep. And just the jock falls for like it's just a lot of the old tropes that really don't stand up.
Right. Okay, I see. I see what you mean. I wasn't sure what you meant by that. There's
Mhm.
a yeah, for sure. There's a lot of stuff from like if you go back and look at comedies from like 70 something 70s on to like 90s.
Yeah.
There's so many problematic, like not even like not even using it like the way people use it now, but just like this is so messed up. Like Revenge of the Nerds or
Oh
whatever.
right, straight up
Uh,
rapes her. Oh god.
right. There's so many like that where you're just looking at it now and it's like, how did anyone go for this before? Like this is so obviously wrong.
Yeah. Like for those who don't know
For
Revenge of
that.
the Nerds, which maybe no one anymore.
Let me
The
recap it right now.
the protagonist dresses up as the antagonist
Yeah.
because like Halloween, and he straight up gets with the antagonist's girlfriend. Like they have sex and everything, and then he reveals who he is, and of course it horrifies her, and then
Right.
she falls in love with him later. Like, ooh, that's not good.
Yeah,
Ooh.
a lot of stuff was written by um I don't know, nerds who were angry and frustrated, and you can see that in the comedy. A lot of the comedy is just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yikes. So, and a lot of movies in general, like The Blind Side. If you go back and watch The Blind Side, that movie is some of the stuff in there is in regards to like race relations, the social commentary is so off.
Yeah, it's
I don't
very
know if you're familiar.
yeah, the ones like it's aggressively definitely white people wrote this kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Because they, like they turn a successful young man into just like a block of wood that needs to be molded by his white family. Like he doesn't say anything. He's completely they make him seem like he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Well, they say he has like some gift or something, but he basically he has to be fixed. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
By this white family, and she goes into like the hood and scolds everybody. Like I don't remember that. The little kid wears like a Native American costume.
Oh god. Then
Yeah, for Halloween, that's his. He's in the back seat with that
oh
costume.
my god, I forgot about that. And then because I'm remembering the very visceral scene of when it's Michael Orr and he's
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
hood and one guy's got
yep,
like a gun on him, another guy's crying. He's like, "What the hell is any of this?"
yeah. She goes back there and she talks some sense into them. So it's a real just tone deaf.
It's yeah,
That one's a problem.
for sure. And I think she got an Oscar for that. I'm pretty sure Sandra Bullock
She
got an
did,
Oscar.
yeah.
Yeah,
I like her, but that was not a good movie, so I
yeah.
don't know what happened there. Did you see speaking of tone deaf movies, did you see Three Billboards?
Three Billboards I have not seen. Like it's one of those
Okay.
movies where I'm like, I know why it got the Oscar, and that's why I didn't
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
is like that one and like Green Book are kind of in the same area.
Oh, for sure.
And I've
Completely
seen
tone deaf.
Green Book. I'm like, what? This got the Oscar, and Three Billboards somehow got the Oscar, and you,
Well,
you
I'm
just
not
don't
sure which
understand.
Oscar though, because Three Billboards didn't win Best Picture
Oh
that year,
yeah, it
unfortunately.
got maybe it got Best Actor for Simon Rockwell, or
Yes, yeah,
Rockwell,
okay, yeah, supporting actor, yeah.
but it had so much press that it was gonna win it.
Mm.
Like I think it started with Crash. Honestly, I think it started with Crash, where we're like, racial movies just win. Racial movies that make white people feel better about themselves win. And
That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't even understand Three Billboards though. Like Green Book, I actually understand. It's more of that,
mhm.
but Three Billboards is it's just such a weird movie. It basically the guy who wrote it, I think he's Irish or Scottish or
Huh.
he's from the UK. I don't know. That's an ignorant comment in itself because I know I just messed something up there. But
Yeah.
it's so weird because he's looking at American race relations, and then it's there's a whole like section in there that's like racism is bad, but there's literally I think one black character and they're in the movie for like 5 minutes. They're just like a background. They might as well be an extra. It's so weird. It's about a lot of it has to do with racism, but it's one of the most awkwardly handled thing. And his Woody Harrelson's wife in it is Australian. Anyway, I don't know what we're doing. I keep doing this. What's
um.
wrong with me, man?
What about Have you seen Parasite?
Oh yeah,
I need to see it. I've only like
you do.
whenever it happened, I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh, I really want to see this movie, and then I forgot about it.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Okay,
Period.
like it's
Period.
on. Was it
Period.
Hulu or something? I gotta find where I can watch it.
Yeah, dude.
That
Do
looks
whatever you gotta do. Do whatever you gotta do. It's such a good movie.
okay.
It's one of those movies that is so well put together. You know, forgetting any theme or messaging, which I think it handles all that stuff really well.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
just there's I look at it and I just think the cast, the script, the direction, the editing. There's so few movies that line up in that way. Where
Wow.
it's I don't want to say it's perfect because that might set up the wrong expectations. But for me, what I enjoy about movies, it might as well be perfect. Like it's up there with the best movies I've ever seen.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that.
I know
I'll
I
let you
need to
watch it.
make the effort to see it. I don't even remember what you asked a while back, and tangents. This is
I,
tangents, the podcast.
we just don't even care. This is just whatever movie. What games have you been playing?
That's a good question. Well, even with Smite gone, I've been playing. I've been doing YouTube. Well, that's what this is on. I've been doing gaming channel still, and so right now the LP is Control.
Yeah.
You know anything about Control?
I don't know. What is
So
that?
Control is from people who made Alan Wake,
Okay.
and then they also made Max Payne 1 and 2, and they made some other games. I don't know if you're
Oh.
familiar with anything Max Payne or Alan Wake.
Yeah, I am a little bit. Yeah.
So
Max Payne a decent amount, and Alan Wake I know I'm familiar with.
okay, so like you played Max Payne 1, right? Or you played or
I
saw?
watched it. I
Okay.
watched it.
So you just see kind of the evolution of Remedy as they made Max Payne 1 and 2, so you see that storytelling evolution, and then they took that to Alan Wake. And so Control is really the evolution of that writing style and that storytelling style to where it's gone. Like it's once again third person. It's more of a shooter this time because Alan Wake wasn't really a shooter. But this is a third person shooter, and it's more like kind of like X-Filesy, like, and it's dealing with altered reality and
Oh,
altered
wow.
like
Huh. I've never heard,
it's
I don't think I've even heard of this. I thought I did. I thought it was that Quantum Break. I mixed it up with that game. I don't know if
it's
you know
from
that
the
game.
same people, I think. Actually,
Okay.
like they made
Okay.
Quantum and then they made Control, if I remember correctly. I think they did, and
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
I slept on Quantum Break. I haven't even played it. I should check it out sometime.
Eh,
Which probably is the middle ground between Alan Wake and then Control.
yeah.
And then Control is it's yeah, it's just like kind of like X-Filesy, and they're dealing with like altered reality, and there's like these objects of power kind of things.
So would you
And
recommend it?
I would recommend this game for sure. It's
Really?
really good. I'm enjoying it a
Huh.
lot. Like in the
Huh.
middle of it, I'm having a blast playing it. And there's a lot of
Nice.
stuff you can read too. And like if you really liked Alan Wake, and if you wanted Alan Wake with more shooting in it, this is the game for it.
Mm.
And just storytelling's good. Also, the guy who played Alan Wake is in this game. Also, the guy
Okay.
who voiced Max Payne is in this game as well.
Oh, nice. That's a good voice cast then.
So, but the main character is a girl named Jessie Faden, and she gets into this place called the Oldest House, and it's this place that you can only know about if you know about it already. It's some weird concept, but it's like in the middle of New York, but you can only see it if you know it exists. And just crazy stuff is going on in there, and you're dealing with like you have like telekinetic powers and it's paranatural is the way they put it. So it's a lot of like paranormal stuff going on, and it's just really engrossing. I've been enjoying it
Nice.
a lot, and the gunplay is really good. The power play is really good. It's a
Are
solid
you a,
game.
are you a single player guy? Would you describe yourself? You like single player?
I think I made myself a single player person after Smite
Really?
because of how competitive I was in Smite.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't it nice to just play something and not have to care about what your teammates are doing?
Yeah, that's the one thing is I lost. I think Smite really wore down my ability, my tolerance for bad play from other people,
Yeah.
which is
I
like
can get that, yeah.
one. I could argue somewhere in the back of my mind that's why I made my guides was I just wanted better teammates. um, but yeah, like I try not to do too competitive. Like before Smite, I was really competitive in Smite in Starcraft too.
Oh, really?
I was drilling it where I would just like I can get this down by a second. I can do the like just getting my build
Oh,
order
man.
faster and all that kind of stuff. I was
Were you
really
into
into that.
Warcraft too?
Yeah, I liked Warcraft a lot. Like 3 was fun,
Yeah.
but
I'm
when
a
it's
mods guy.
and
Love
then
the mods.
oh wait what? I catch up.
No, I just love the mods in Warcraft 3. I didn't
Oh
really play
yeah.
the main game so much. It's like I did play the Ronald McDonald Tower Defense game.
Yeah,
The
like
Elements Tower Defense. So many games.
I think I kind of I want to believe I'm getting this right. I feel like Warcraft 3 was the birth of tower defense, or was it just it really made it in a big way?
I don't know, but it definitely took off. That was a good that whole era of like the Flash game online.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of tower defense stuff.
because it really brought tower defense to me for sure, and I know it was the birth of Dota. I remember getting those maps from like I don't really care for this concept. I was having more fun with the tower defenses back when it was like Age of like AOS or whatever before it became Dota.
Mm-hmm.
And tower defenses were my jam. I remember that, and just custom made RPG stories and stuff like that was fun too. It was fun playing the mods back in the day.
Yeah, I love those mods, man. I'm waiting for that. I don't know when it was supposed to come out, but I think it was already supposed to be here. But yeah, I'm waiting for Warcraft 3.
Oh, the Warcraft 3 remaster came out. Yeah,
It did?
yeah.
What?
They didn't say much, but it came out.
Really?
Let me double check. I'm not wrong here.
Are you sure?
I am super sure it came out.
Pause everything.
Warcraft 3
Pause.
Reforged. Yeah, Reforged.
It's out?
It came out January.
What?
Some people didn't. It got a lot of 1 stars. Holy crap! Like
Oh,
a
did
lot
it?
of people are saying it wasn't very good remaster.
Darn it. Darn it.
But
I still might do it.
the StarCraft remaster was pretty good. Though I played it as are you familiar with StarCrafts?
No.
It's this guy who made animations of StarCraft. Really not well drawn, but they're kind of really funny because he shows he understands the games. And so he full on made a mod for it where he reskinned the entire StarCraft game. So it's all cartoony and everything, and it's enjoyable.
Yeah, I love that stuff. They I remember there was one where you would play it. It was a World War II mod or zombie outbreak, a World War II zombie outbreak
Huh.
for a mod where you'd like point move around. I don't know if you remember this in Warcraft 3, but it was a good one. I forget what it was called.
I don't think maybe I played it. I don't remember too because I know those things did exist. I just
Yeah.
don't remember if I played them.
Were you big into? So one of my favorite games ever is the Lord of the Rings RTS. Did you play that? Middle Earth.
Oh yeah, I played that a little bit. That
Okay.
one was more in line with the books, wasn't it? Because it had things that I didn't remember from the movies. Like, oh, this has got to be the books or something.
Yeah, maybe. I just know that the second one, I think there was a mod for it. It's the Lich King mod or something, but you could or an expansion and you would make your own hero and then you
Ooh,
could just play an RTS and I would literally just only use my hero. I didn't use anything. like
wow.
you could choose your race for the hero. You could choose what weapon and that would choose how they attack. You choose skill trees. So you'd make these like complex skill trees and you level your hero up 1 to 20 through the game and you could choose
Wow.
like this. You could make an orc and have like a hammer and you could hit the ground and all of a sudden it would ripple out and have this huge shock wave. That was like one of my favorites. You could make an
Hmm.
elite archer that was way better than any unit you could ever have because it was like the starter level 1 hero like like an RTS
Yeah.
has,
Wow.
but you would customize it. It was such a cool feature. I don't know. You can't play that game anymore. I saw EA moved all their games to Steam, but if you look on eBay, that game's like $200.
Jeez.
Can't, and it's disc only,
Dang. Yeah,
so
there's some
it's not
games
available.
you just can't play anymore. It's unfortunate. Like, my sister is really into Age of Empires, but the God version.
I don't know. Not
Uh,
familiar.
I forget Myths of Empire. I don't remember anymore. But it's like Age of Empires, and they did a spin off with gods, and you just can't play it anymore because it's like if you do it on any higher version of Windows or something, it gets
Oh,
super zoomed in and everything. It's like what happened to Red Alert One. If you play it on newer computer, it just ran through the entire thing and you lost. Like in
see,
the first couple seconds. What?
this is what I hate though. It's like all these old games. All these companies, they despise. They have all these DRM protections, and they despise anyone making emulators and having these ISOs on. Like Nintendo does that all the time. It's like, where else can I play
Yeah.
these games? What am I supposed to do? I just don't have my GameCube anymore. Like what am I supposed to play this on?
Yeah. Like if you're gonna hold on to them, just redo them and sell them then or something. Would like to play them again.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of Nintendo stuff I'd love to play again. Where if the old console doesn't work anymore, I'm just out of luck. As far as I know, all my stuff still
exactly.
works. But still,
Yeah,
um, there's also
they
stuff I wish I could
purged.
share. What?
They purged so many of those like ISO sites that would
Oh yeah.
the ISOs. I keep saying ISO. I don't know why. That's like a basketball. It's a basketball term. Yeah, the ISOs. They cleaned house with all those. There's Dolphin emulator or whatever. I forget one
Yeah.
of them. Emu Paradise. That was the one that was.
Okay.
Darn it. Rest in
Anyways.
peace.
How old was I? What did I use when I was doing it? I think it was Cool ROMs when I was in high school, which is so old compared to some of the other ones now.
Yeah.
It's just been like there's some games I wish I could capture because I'd like to share them, like on the channel. Like check out these old games that were awesome.
Yeah. Right.
Like there's no easy way to capture them. Like one game I really like from the GameCube is Eternal Darkness.
No, I don't even know what you're talking about.
You
Wow.
never
What
played
is
it?
it?
Okay, Eternal Darkness is an interesting game where you had three bars. You had HP, mana, and sanity, and you're fighting like Cthulhu level things. So you'll go through like a map, like you'll go through an area as a character, and there's like 12 characters because it goes across the ages, and they have different meters of HP, mana, and sanity. And the crazier they get, the crazier the game gets. So when you hit max insanity, which is the funnest part of the game, so you always lose your sanity on purpose, you'll start hearing noises in the background. Like
Oh no.
um, you'll hear like sawing and people screaming, or you'll hear like a baby crying, or just things to make you nervous and unhinged. They'll mess with the decibel level. It will purposely have a volume bar go from max to zero on the screen. And they went for the most, just whatever they could find the most TVs used, they went with that one. So there were people who thought their TV was messing with them. They
That's
also
amazing.
they also did the one where the TV turns off. They made it look like your TV turned off. Like, wait, what? What's good? What?
Oh my!
Which
I've
was
never heard of this game before in my life. That's an amazing mechanic,
I
though.
want to share because it's the only game we did it. I wish I could share this game. There's no easy way to
Wow.
do it. Like
I
you
don't
haven't
know if
said
you
anything like that.
I don't know
What?
if you feel this way, but I I have tough time playing a really scary game, but I have no problem watching a scary movie.
I think I'm the opposite.
Really?
I'm willing to play scary games, but I'm not a big fan of scary movies. Well, one thing is I'm just not a big fan of gore,
Okay.
or I'm just not a big fan of. I guess it's a weird back and forth because I play things like Fallout, and Fallout is people are just meat patties in that, but a
Yeah.
movie does it, and I'm like, bleh. So I guess it's just because it's in your hands versus it's not.
Yeah. Did you play Alien Isolation?
Yeah,
Oh my
my
god.
big problem with scary games, at a point you just hate the monster.
Yeah.
Like you're not scared of them anymore. You just hate the monsters. Like Alien Isolation,
Yeah.
there's points when you're hiding too long,
Oh
and
my it's so scary.
like there is a limit to how much tension you can pull on
Yeah.
someone. I think before they just hit exhaustion.
Right. Oh,
And
I agree. I agree.
like when you're first hiding from the alien, you're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Sometimes it finds you and you freak out.
Oh my gosh. The first time you play that game and the alien gets you, it's
Oh,
horrifying. When you're like sitting in a locker for 5 minutes
oh
and
yeah.
then you realize that it will just keep looking in the same area.
Mm.
Like, oh my god.
And then like the first time when you're running and you see the saliva from the air duct
Yeah,
and you don't catch it in time and you run into it like, oh no, and it just grabs you like, oh, it had some good moments.
for sure.
But I feel like at points it just needs to realize like the person's not going to have any more tension. They're just going to be exhausted and they need to back off. Because
That's what happened to me.
yeah. And then once you finally have the ability to deal with, like, I'm happy they eventually give the ability to scare it off.
Hmm.
Because there is a point where you're just tired of this beast and you want to beat it up, kind of. And they give you the opportunity to throw Molotovs at. I'm like, yes, I hate it.
Yeah.
Eat it.
No, I know what you're saying. I think I got to the point where they started giving you like distractions and firecrackers and stuff. I wasn't even that far in. That is the most horrifying game I've ever played. Like because the thing is, it didn't matter how many times it happened to me. I would still have a very anxious reaction to whenever he would kill me or whenever the
Yeah.
alien would kill me. Like that always gets me. So it didn't matter how many times it happened. That part, I was always dreading that part. And after a certain point, it was like, just please let me get past this. Like I'm so scared. I can't keep doing this. I agree the tension would wear down, but it just became like, stop. I don't want to keep dying. Like, leave me alone for a minute, dude.
Yeah. So that Alien Isolation, I think, is pretty good for the most part.
Yeah.
It just wears on you a bit. Another one, there's the big popular one, and not Slender. There's a couple that everyone did. It's the one where China Room made it, or Chinese Room made it.
I don't think I'm familiar.
The
Was this a
one
long time ago?
it's a while ago. It's like you can only run, you can only hide, you cannot fight back in any way.
Mhm.
And like it was a big one for some. And now I got to look up the developer Chinese Room. There's one that will mess you up real bad. Like I only play scary games in November, and we call it Nope-vember because we don't want to do it in October.
Hmm.
It's like nope. Chinese Room developers. The Chinese Room, and they made not the Arrestor. What the heck is it? Amnesia. There it is. Amnesia. Oh dear, you've never heard of Amnesia. Okay. Oh no, they did the
Yeah, I'm not.
sequel. I don't know about the original, but it was just one where you can only hide. Okay, moving on from there. So there's one that'll mess you up. It's called Soma.
Soma, yeah, sure.
I don't know if you've played that.
I haven't, but I'm familiar.
Like that one, I think that kind of horror is the kind that just doesn't leave you for a while
Yeah.
because it's existential horror,
Yeah.
and it's like, woo. That one is like, I need a minute, I need a while. Like, sure, I can get ripped apart by monsters in other games, but this one's just like
Yeah.
existential as heck. One thing is, I'm never gonna do VR horror. Oh no. Oh
Oh no.
no.
Alien Isolation, dude, in VR. I
Oh,
saw that was a thing, and I was like, I can't handle this on a big screen. How am I supposed to, like, with proper sound? That game is, I mean, that is genuinely horrifying. I don't
oh
even.
man. Yeah, that would be incredible. I also don't want to do it, but like, it'd be amazing, and also don't want it. Don't want it, no, but also be like back and forth on that. They're getting there with VR though. They're getting better at it.
Yeah. What do you have for VR? Do you have something, or you
Uh,
play to friends?
I haven't done much gaming. I just have the Oculus, like the cheap one, not the $400 one, like the
You
hundred
have the
dollar
Quest.
Oculus.
Is it the Quest or no?
I don't. I'm just gonna go grab it. I'm just gonna go grab it. Wait, where did I put it? I don't
Make
remember
sure
where I put it all of a sudden. Forget what I said.
the Rift S.
Mike?
Rift.
Yeah, I think it's the Rift.
Okay.
Super short. And just doing that for just like the VR tours of like
Hmm.
space and like the roller coaster VR, things like, I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. It's kind of, you get this feeling like your body feels like I'm supposed to feel inertia right now, so I'm
Yeah.
fake
Yeah.
making it.
Hard to get over that.
It's so interesting. That's why I get the understanding of people who say they get motion sickness. Like, I haven't gotten it, but I understand why you would. And it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. Uh, I do want to get a gaming one someday. It's just like I'd rather just buy games on my PC right now. But
Yeah.
whenever I have enough money for it, because I do want to try like Beat Saber and things like that.
Dude, Beat Saber is very fun.
Yeah, it looks
So
really
I
fun.
have I have the Oculus Quest, which is the wireless one. It's actually really cool
Hmm.
because you don't have to be tethered to anything, and it has a battery life. You can bring it anywhere. Like if you wanted to go to on a road trip very easily, you could just throw it in something. It's a small enough form factor, and there's no wires. So yeah, you just
Wow.
charge stuff. But yeah, like it's weird. I haven't played it in a while. It to me, it felt like the Wii kind of, where
Huh.
it was a really new technology or just different. It never been done like that before, and it's accessible. But I still don't have like a desire to play it all the time. It's great when friends come over, but it's not something that I personally would use all the time. If I go back to it every once in a while, if I want a quick game of a Beat Saber, for example, or
Hmm.
there's a I don't remember the name of this, but it's basically you're on a rail. It's like a one of those shooters where you're on like a treadmill.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Where it's just always moving you forward through the level,
Mm-hmm.
and you just
On
kind of
rails then.
shoot. It's a gallery. Yeah, it's on rails. You just kind of you shoot, and you have to duck and dodge the bullets. There's a lot of bullet time stuff with the
Ooh.
quest that's really nice.
Oh, that sounds cool. So definitely
Yeah,
looking forward to where VR goes. Um, did you ever really play in the arcades or just at home?
like a real arcade.
Yeah, like a real arcade.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Like, what'd you play in the arcades?
Well, didn't it was always on vacation. There's no, it
Oh,
wasn't
okay,
really never a arcade near me, or sometimes in the mall. Um, Hydro Thunder was one of my favorites.
that's fun.
Uh, Trying to think, there was a snowmobile version that was kind of like Hydro Thunder. I forget what that game was called.
I
Big fan
remember
of
it though.
that. Yeah. I don't really remember. Oh, there was a crazy. What was that? What was that hospital one or ambulance driver?
Okay, I know I played that one. I can't remember what it's called, but I know I
Yeah.
played it.
It's basically like Crazy Taxi, but with hospital, with the
Mm-hmm.
ambulance. I mean,
Yeah.
um, trying to think of a shooter. I didn't really play shooter versions of those
Hmm.
games. I wasn't into those.
Never played anything like House of the Dead or like
No,
what's the other one? Virtual Cop,
no. Well,
Time
maybe that
Crisis.
one. Time Crisis. Yes.
Okay, just curious because arcades are just so dead now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I feel like VR is the closest we're gonna get to doing something like that again, but it's just more on a personal level, where you're like
Yeah.
standing and shooting or things like that.
I've seen a few attempts at sort of a VR experience. I think it was in was it in Japan?
Japan has some, yeah.
Yeah, I was in Japan, and I think there was a couple different arcades that had a VR component where you could put the thing on. It's just
Hmm.
I don't know. It's not the same. I like arcades a lot, but
Yeah. Huh.
it's tough when you can do the same thing on your phone at this point.
Yeah. There is a VR in. I'm really curious about the Disneyland has. I assume Disney World has it too. They have a Star Wars one,
Oh, really?
and like you put on a pack and you have like the headset on and everything, and you
Yeah.
go through like 8 rooms, but those 8 rooms become different things, and like it's supposed to make you really feel like you're in the Star Wars universe. I'm really curious about that. Like if you put your hand out to something, it looks like it's cold, it'll feel cold and things like that, and you can see each other because that's how it's set up in the VR world. It just looks really interesting. I just want to try it. Um, I don't know where I'm going with this tangent. So that's one version of VR. There's another version in Vegas where it's like you can play like Beat Saber and some of the more simpler games. It's like 15 for like a little bit of time. So there's different attempts at the VR at VR. I remember back in the day, maybe 20 years ago. I'm going to say 20, 15 years ago because I'm old. So, back in the day, VR was very weak. It was sit in this chair and put this headset on, and you're just looking at a screen the whole time. It wasn't real
Yeah.
VR. They just said it was. And they still have setups like that where they'll like be in this VR roller coaster, and you're just sitting, and it
Mhm.
just has a headset in your face, and the chair's moving around, but you can't move your head around or anything. It's just like, here's VR. It's like, not really, but okay. Um, it's just interesting seeing the different ideas of how different ways they're trying to do it, and I hope to see VR get bigger and bigger. It may stay a novelty, who knows. It was very interesting when they did this was E3 so many years ago when they had the glasses. Like when like Xbox had those glasses and they're like, here's Minecraft, you can play Minecraft with these glasses.
Oh, the HoloLens?
The HoloLens, yeah, and then nothing came out of that.
Yeah.
That I think it became like military contract with that.
Military had to like play Roblox for training. I think that actually was promising, so I don't know what happened with it, but it is funny how stuff just disappears.
Like there's just sometimes there's just overselling and then it doesn't work out. So then like, oh, it didn't happen, never happened. What are you talking about? Never existed. Do you have any interest in the new Xbox or PlayStation?
No.
Like what?
Zero.
Are you primarily PC or?
Yeah, but I've always had the consoles, and I'm just tired of it. I don't know. I thought we just had a new upgrade. Why did they I don't know. The mid console, like, so they called the PS4 next gen, and then there was a mid cycle boost with the PS4 Pro or whatever, and the Xbox, whatever they call it. And now they've got the new ones. It just seems like a lot, and even though they're boasting like really interesting technology, especially with the SSD of the PS5,
Yeah,
seems interesting. It's just why so every game can look like Uncharted or The Last of Us. I don't care. I don't care. I don't know. Nintendo's actually in an interesting position because they don't have a choice. They don't have a choice to go for the cutting edge graphics and whatnot. They don't have a choice to push technology to where it's never gone. I mean, they squeeze the most out of what they have, but they have to be more creative and they have to stick to a stylized art style. So it's just that's what I prefer anyway.
yeah. What
I mean, every once in a
surprises? What?
while, The Last of Us is fine, but I feel like every game is The Last of Us now. It's just boring.
Yeah, I get you. Like, what surprises me is we're still on the hunt for better graphics, even to this point, and that's what PlayStation and Xbox are pursuing. I'm like, I think we're good enough, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's what I appreciate about Nintendo is they are squeezing as much as they can out of it, and that's why sometimes the ports don't go well, is because they can't
Yeah.
squeeze it as well as some people can. Like, the Outer Worlds port was not very good graphically. It looked very bad, unfortunately. They weren't able to port it well. Well, as my
Yeah, I
understanding is,
heard
Witcher
that.
3 was done very well.
Hmm.
But yeah, when you have constraints, you can have amazing creativity, and that's always been Nintendo's strength, I feel.
Hmm.
It's weird when people are like, well, compare the graphics between Nintendo and the other ones. Like, we're not here for the graphics.
Yeah.
Like, the graphics are, there's still some things that look really nice on Nintendo, of course. Like, Breath of the Wild took my breath away. Huh.
Right. And I always wish that Nintendo had a little bit more power because
Mm.
they could actually use it, but for some reason they're always underpowered. Like it's like, man, I know what you guys are about, but you could go a little bit farther in the CPU and GPU areas.
Yeah, I feel like Nintendo just doesn't want to sell at a negative at the word here because the PlayStation 5 for sure when they sell it it's not going to be at a profit,
Yeah,
especially because you got things like the SSD in there. While
yeah,
Nintendo, I think they definitely aren't selling where it's hurting them when they sell a unit.
yeah,
But they could have some more power for sure. Like even Breath of the Wild has some frame issues, which is not great.
yeah. Right.
And there are things you just can't defend when it comes to hardware stuff, but they're still good games, so I don't care enough.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, they're just enjoyable. I enjoy Nintendo stuff, and anything I need Xbox, I can play on PC anyway. That's just how it works. So the
Right.
only thing I'm missing
Right.
out is PlayStation, and
Did
that's
you
only
ever
so
play
many.
Journey?
Uh, I've been so everyone tells me play Journey,
You
and
should.
it's finally on Steam, so I can. I didn't get it
Yeah.
because when it was on Epic.
Yeah. You have
Uh,
to. You have to play that one.
so I know I need to play it, and thankfully it's out. So I should play it at some point already. The Steam sale's happening. I wonder if it's on sale. Random thing. Do you think the Steam sales, just the decade of it, just has just made everyone just way more has just undervalued games because of it?
Um, like people think that the games need to be a certain price.
Yeah, like they're only willing to go for games when they're on sale, never when they're full price, things like
Hmm.
that.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't say that I'm that way. I'm usually, if a game is out and I want to play it, I mean, I'm gonna buy it no matter what.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna wait.
I think what it did is it just put some games in the tier of I'll wait for it to be on sale if I don't like it that if I'm not that hype about
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that. Because I was talking with a buddy where his friend only buys games on sale. He's like, "Dude, you make 200,000 a year. Just buy the game." Like, wow, yeah, just buy the game. Oof. But I think I appreciate the sales for like because I didn't always have a job when I was younger. I didn't have a job.
Yep.
I needed like every dollar mattered. Like now, I'm like, yeah, full price, whatever. I don't care about that. I'm just,
Yep.
but the thing is, because of those years, I always think like, is it on sale now? That becomes a go-to. Is like, is it on sale or not?
For
Uh,
me, a sale pretty much just means that I might end up buying a game that I otherwise would have not
hmm,
bought, but it doesn't really mean that I'll end up playing it. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like, there's a lot of games that I buy on sale that I just never even get around to playing.
yep, same. Feel bad about that. I definitely feel bad about that. Um, my numbers are weird at this point because it's two different things. One is I bought a bunch of games that I've just never played, but also because I review games. I've got 2,000 games on Steam. And I know I haven't played maybe 500 of them, or maybe even, no, I've definitely played more than 1,000 games. But just like
Yeah.
Steam just has so many games they can throw at you.
There's a game I don't know up at all, but Deep Rock Galactic, really fun.
Oh, I love Deep Rock Galactic. So when they first came out, they gave me a copy, like 2 years ago, and I played. I'm like, this is really good. This is great. I like it. And they're like, we're taking your copy away. We're not doing advertising right now. I'm like, but I was enjoying the game. And then they gave me another copy when it released. I'm like, oh, this is still really good. All right. Deep Rock Galactic's fun. It's also like it's just fun. What class do you like?
I play the miner guy, the guy that has like the drills, because
Me
it's
too.
just so stupid. It's not even. It's sometimes it's useful, but sometimes I just enjoy digging tunnels for zero reason whatsoever. I'll just be out there digging. I love at the end of like the round. If you have to go back to the rocket ship, I love just digging straight through the earth,
Yes,
like
that's what I love.
completely off the beaten path.
That's what I do too.
Yeah,
Like
shortcut.
when I play Minecraft, well, I used to, and my favorite thing in Minecraft was just digging and finding stuff. That's all I did. I
Yeah.
didn't build things. I wasn't the builder. I was just the digger. So Deep Rock Galactic just gives me that dig feel that I like for some reason. And the driller is the guy, like, and also the flamethrower
He's
is
the guy.
fun, and throwing axes is fun.
Yep.
And what's his other thing? He's got the explode, like the remote bomb,
Yeah.
and he's just a fun class. Like the other ones are fun too, but I just like the driller the most.
There's something nice about a game that it doesn't matter what role you play, like a co-op game. If the co-op game gets it right, you can play any role and feel important and feel like you're doing something. And
Yep.
that game is really fun. There's just a good feeling when I play that game with my friends where we're having fun. It's relaxed, but then it gets intense, and there's periods in between. And at the same time, at the end of the game, I feel like we had a good experience. You know, you feel good about having just played with your friends. You feel like you bonded.
It's fun, and like Molly's just the mule. It just comes with you, which is great. So you just give it your stuff, and like,
Yeah.
you're a good mule, Molly.
Yeah, they
Uh,
start yelling at it.
yeah, everyone's just yelling. I just like that it comes with you, and it's kind of the fifth unit in a way. It's the fifth player, and just the variety of bugs and the bosses. It's a good game. It's definitely a good game. I I'm glad it exists. I'm glad it got completed. It's really sad when early access games don't get finished.
Yeah.
Like there was a random tangent. There's a game called Besiege that was early access 6 years ago. They said we just need 2 years and we'll be done. They finally
Hard.
finished, I think, last year.
Hard.
Like, whew, well, at least they got it done. There are some early access games from like 10 years ago that are still not finished. Like, jeez. Some were on
Yeah.
purpose. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Factorio.
I am. Never played it though.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
of my friends are into it. You have to be a specific type of person to play that game, I think.
Yes, and apparently on that specific type, I've sunk maybe 200 hours into that thing. Jinx has sunk in twice that much. I
Yeah.
think she has all the achievements on that. It is a certain type because you're just. I think the word is abnegation. You just feel like you're accomplishing something,
Mm-hmm.
so you're just making things. That's all
Yep.
that game is. You're just making things. I think that's kind of what Minecraft was too when it came out. Just you feel like you're doing something, and I think that's just there's. I think that's the beauty of gaming, being a little more general with it. I think the beauty of gaming is it's a lot of things for a lot of people. That's pretty nebulous, but I mean, like, you can find an itch. If there's an itch, you might find it with games.
Mm-hmm.
If you want power fantasy, you got The Witcher, or like Doom, or there's a lot of games that give you male power fantasy. Like Witcher's more male power fantasy. I think Doom gives you just power fantasy. Like you don't have to be a
Mm-hmm.
dude to enjoy that because Doom you're just destroying things horribly, which is just fun for everyone.
Yeah.
Like Factorio just gives you that itch for making things. Like we're saying with like Deep Rock Galactic gives that just digging's just fun.
Into the digging itch. But there's a teamwork
Yeah, that too,
scratches
yeah.
for me. There's not a lot of games that scratch that. Hey, let's work together.
Mhm.
Because even though there's a lot of co-op games, not all of them have such a satisfying feeling where you go into a mission and you feel like you have these little stories that pop out. Like, oh, remember when I was down here and I was surrounded by 20 different guys and there was a massive fire guy that exploded and it nuked the entire cavern and I barely got out, but you insta-res me. Like that kind of stuff. where every single game is a little bit different and you get a different thing out of it. I love that stuff, and that game does it well. So I don't know.
That was the beauty of what was Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And I don't know if you ever played Vermintide. Just like
yeah,
okay.
yeah, a little bit.
Trying to remember, I feel like Left 4 Dead was the start of that genre. I can't remember if anything happened before it. Yeah, I think Left 4 Dead was the start of it because it had the director and all that, and it's a good genre. It's a good fun genre. You got plenty of competitive games, and it really is a nice feeling when you got good teamwork. And that's what made the pro scene fun for me when it came to Smite, was just seeing what a really good team could do. And just the combinations they could do with ults and things like that. Like, one back in the day when it was Ares ult into like Ra or something. Just the entire team screwed. That's just always a fun one and things like that.
Yeah, even there's some little combinations that you could do that were kind of insane. Like do stuff with the Willix and
teamwork is just fun. Teamwork is fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, different people who can pop up for her ult. And yeah, good times. Yeah, there's just genres for everything. I don't know where else I can go with
that. Yeah.
How are you on time?
That would be a good time, I think.
Okay, all right. So we've talked quite a lot. I think this was fun.
It was, yeah.
Very fun. You down for another one in the future?
Yeah, I mean, if for whatever reason the recording didn't come out great, I would happily do it again a different day.
Oh no, we're using this one. I just
all right.
I mean, just future guest.
Yeah, sure. Have me back on. I hope it was interesting. For some reason, I really wanted to talk about like Fast and Furious or something at a certain point. I don't know what happened.
Oh, this was fun. I like this one. This is probably my favorite. Apologies to the other guys. This is probably my favorite right now. This was fun.
I don't know. We'll let the viewers decide. I don't know. I honestly think I went off the deep end at a certain point.
Yeah, like I've had Verbal on. Verb's fun. He's very professional. He's been a. I should just try to get everyone together for one big episode somehow. I don't know how the internet would hold for everyone, but still, it'd be fun. Yeah. Like Verb, he's done like shoutcasting for like For Honor and stuff. Then there's Mez. It'd be good to have him on again.
Oh yeah, Mez. I just caught up with him recently, actually.
Nice. That'd be cool. Like talking, the three of us would be kind of fun, I think. And then the one of the old guard that I don't know how I'm gonna approach her. Is like I kind of want to talk to Smitten. Because she's from back in the day too.
Yeah.
Well, he's like Gang First Gaming. How not to play Baka or how not to play Odin was the first one.
Yeah.
That was a big splash man. So I need to try to get a hold of her. I don't know how, because obviously she's really popular, but it'd be fun to talk to her. Just talk to more of the old guard.
Yeah, she'd probably do it.
Yeah.
Just after, yeah.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely want you on again if you're willing.
Yeah, later. I'll talk about Mission Impossible for 2 hours.
Oh god. That's another one. Just we're not in. Okay,
don't start me on it. Don't start me on it.
Yeah, just real quick. I think it just got better over time.
It got better.
I really liked. Was it Fallout? Is that the newest one? I really like that one. But all right, we'll save that for next time. Well, if we remember, we'll talk about that next time.
Okay.
But so that's basically a podcast. You can only. Are you just all your socials things? So it's just Twitter.
Twitter, yeah. SpiffBenevolent.
And then, do you want people to look at your YouTuber now?
No, not really. Stay away.
All right, so I'll just put your Twitter on the thing.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. So this is basically a podcast. I believe we had a lot of fun. Hope y'all had fun watching and listening. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see y'all next time.
Yeah. See ya.